Hey guys, Thomas the Salute Jr. here, aka Mustached. I'm here to review The Boss Baby. So, we follow a young boy named Tim who's living with his mom and dad, and he's living a pretty young, imaginative life where he pretends he's in all these different scenarios. It kind of reminded me of the Rugrats in the way that he just sort of goes from thing to thing. Uh, and sometimes he pretends he's like fighting off imaginary gorillas or in space or various different things. And both of his parents work at this company called Puppy Co, which sounds like it's representative of something very real, but whatever. Anyways, we see that the boss baby, referred to as, well, the boss baby, played by Alec Baldwin. Now we see that he was in this cloud factory and he was denied. He didn't cry, so they gave him like a red thing, and then he was sent down in the business suit, and he came into Tim's life. And from there, they immediately don't get along, and just things get out of control. And then Tim finds out that the baby can talk, and he tries to expose the boss for being able to talk when he catches him. You see that in the trailer with all the explosions, and of course that's a part of the fantasy aspect of it, but really they're just, child playing essentially. And from there, they tell each other that they don't want each other in each other's lives at some point after Tim gets like grounded at some point in the movie. And then when after like a few threats and the boss baby's like, "Oh, if I fail, I'm going to end up sticking around here." So neither of them want that. So they decide that they're going to pile up together and find out what is going on with this whole puppy co thing, where apparently the puppies are gonna take over the majority of love from babies, and you see that in the trailer as well. So we see them team up together, get into puppy co after faking each other in this whole lovey-dovey scenario, and you see that in the trailer. Most of the movie is in the trailer, by the way. Just saying that now, but you see the little babies that are accompanying him, uh, essentially meeting up to discuss the very situation that I'm talking about. Anyways, they got into the puppy co eventually, and they find out that once they enter the door, that and they take this folder, they find out that the person in charge named Francis, which is a peculiar name. We find out that he was this boss, like a very much like a boss baby prior, uh, and since he was allergic to milk, he was cast aside and placed on Earth without the formula to continue to be young forever. And his plan is to make the puppy, last forever so that it can take over the cuteness factor, so that dogs would be more popular than babies. And yeah, it's a weird premise, but anyway, they continue to work together after they end up finding this out, and Francis continues his plan, trying to get his parents to bring him to this, I guess, show where he is going to exploit this whole baby dog thing to everyone in the world. And then they find out, like the parents find them when they eventually get to Las Vegas where this show is happening, and there's all this like sweet talk where Timothy and the boss baby are finally starting to get along with each other. Their teamwork is getting better, but you know the drill. You have to have that moment where it's like, oh no, we're arguing, right at that point, that like pitch perfect moment. You've seen this vibe before, so you probably know how this is going to end. Anyway, you see them gain access to that area, the Las Vegas, with a ex machina to help them along the way. Anyways, they foil eventually after like a few chase scenes with this whole babysitter plot thing going on. But they eventually get past that, and then they beat Francis. He got turned into a baby again at some point, and they succeed in their mission, and the boss baby is promoted, and Tim has his parents forget whatever happened. They were asleep, and all these other babies come in with this whole thing about forgetting babies. But as time goes on, both of them start to feel that bond moment eating up at them. So Tim writes a letter saying that he wants the boss baby to be his real brother or something along those lines. Anyways, the boss baby learned how to get himself to laugh so that he would be accepted into the whole baby thing, and as expected, you see them in the future together when after the whole reading the letter. Older Tim with a daughter and his new younger brother telling the story to Tim's daughter, who is getting a younger sister. And that is the end of Boss Baby. So the comedy's kind of here and there. It's mostly It feels kind of jumbled between trying to be like between like jokes for kids and jokes for adults. A few ex machinas along the way. The journey's typical, and you know it was an okay movie. I thought the imagination parts were a little bit interesting, uh, but kind of like all over the place too. So there's that. So most of the stuff, as I said, is in the trailer, but you know, I think it was an okay movie. I probably give it a 5 out of 10. I felt like it was halfway to being a decent movie, at least for me. I'm pretty sure most people who saw this enjoyed it for the most part, from what I could gather. But you know, eh, I thought it was okay. Anyways, that is my review of The Boss Baby. So with that being said, I'm Thomas Cecily Jr., aka Mustached, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!